All right, hi everybody. Welcome to Quill and Sword. As you can see, we have a guest joining us today. This is Doug from Nerdarchy. He is joining our little, what would we call this? Disaster in the making? I'm not sure what we would call this. I'm going to go with disaster in the making for now. Anyway, before we get too far into things or get to our recap, we love Syrinscape. We're using it. Shout out. Does anyone have any other announcements that are exciting? Do you have one, SENITA? Or are you just rocking out? Oh, okay, gotcha. So we're going to do our lovely D4 roll, and I'm going to see who is going to recap for us today. Okay, that is SENITA. Again, man, my dice favors you, SENITA.
Huh?
That's not according to last time.
That is true.
Oh my god.
So what you got for us?
Oh my god, I just remember the fight. I have to was there a fight? There was a fight.
Yes. There was a fight. You can pass it off if you'd rather pass the buck.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass off. I can't. I'm not fully remembering exactly what happened last time.
Okay, that's fair.
Except for the fight. And I know we should start there.
Okay. So pass it off to somebody.
To Nathaniel.
I'm bouncing it because there was somebody who was super eager and had their hand up. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Okay.
It was me.
Oh, okay. All right, Robin, go for it.
Okay, so there was a mage that had been having an affair with one of the guards at the mage place, and then they wouldn't let them be together, and everything was all tragic, and he died and stuff. And then she decided she was gonna bring him back by putting him in a suit of armor clockwork body, and he was super unhappy that way, and then we had to fight Crom Spawn. Now, Nathaniel, do you have details?
I remember now.
Well, I mean, it wasn't our first Crom Spawn that we've had to deal with, so we were able to deal with that. Giselle did fire real good. She did some serious fire on that thing, and that thing, I believe it was the tentacles that were, and the thing was made up of what was left of most of the other occupants of the house, so it was real gross. And so after we dealt with that, I had to have a bit of a talk with the mage who had summoned all this to try and get her to not go down a path of no return, thinking that because this had happened that there was nothing good for her left in the world. So that had to be a little bit of counseling there. Marissa, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I would like the record to show that we began in a very fancy, very nice hotel that we got because Wisp did a fantastic performance. It was way nicer than anything we actually deserved. And then we left. We left like crazy people because we saw some glowing blue lights and we had to save the day again. And we'll never have such nice bathtubs or bedding or anything. I mean, probably when we go back to the palace, if we ever get back to the palace, I am losing hope in that endeavor at this moment. But it was very, very nice. Everybody got a nice snooze. And then we had to go off and do adventures again.
Like you do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, SENITA, you want to bring us home with a tidbit or no?
Pretty much. Whatever we did with the blue light had nothing to do with our original goal that we had come to this city for.
Mm-hmm.
It was a powerful side quest.
Yes, it was.
Oh, right, there's still kids missing.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are. Very true, very true. And with all that, we're going to dive into Quill and Sword.
Pirate.
All right, and we are back. So, yes, we were having all the fun conversations related to fan art and whatnot, nudity, NSFW, etc. You know how it goes. So, yeah, we are gonna start right into it then with
Where I'm angled at in my camera.
all right, let me pull this up real quick. Okay. So, the morning is dreary, wet, rainy, and a figure wearing a long trench coat and a tricorn hat finds himself walking through the streets of Dorian. The streamers and festive decorations are currently sheened with the gray-silver rain. Puddles gather on the fringes of the streets, and only the most destitute find themselves huddling for shelter beneath whatever meager awnings they can find. Doug, would you like to describe any more of who we see?
Sure. Hake Fusilier is a middle-aged human with salt and pepper scruff, and but the Queen's Guard proper uniform, of course, and he's very dedicated investigator, and he would be going about the city streets in the course of that investigation with a gnarled staff slung across his back that's sort of long and curved and shaped to be held sort of like you would a rifle, and it has like different colored crystals like carved and embedded in particular places near where your hands would be. But he's investigating missing kids as well, as a matter of fact, and got a lead that he should contact a Motley Few folk that are in Dorian right now, and based on his investigation of something that went down just a few hours before with some glowing blue lights, he found some clues there that led him to wherever he's heading right now, hopefully to meet with these people at the on a tip from the Queen's successor, Angelique Dubois.
And as you are walking these streets, and it's just cold, there is this like chilling breeze that almost cuts through your thick duster. You see an inn that you have frequented in the past. It is affordable yet surprisingly fancy. And as you approach what did I call it? I can't remember. We're just going to make up a name because that's what I do. We'll call it the Pumpkin Carriage. Sure.
That's the name of the
two
inn?
words. Just grab two words, put them together. That's how you make inn names, people.
Man, I'm there.
So you approach the Pumpkin Carriage. You know that this particular establishment has place for a proper stage, and the owner's daughter is actually an aspiring entertainer in her own right, though she is also renowned for her fondness for drink and her inability to hold it well. You make your way into the inn, and as you open the door, you see that there is that there's not too many people right now in the inn. It seems that not too many people are going out in general. However, you see the barkeep currently wiping down one of these mugs that he uses. They are clear and glass, which is unique to this establishment. You know that a lot of the taverns in Voirais keep unique glassware and silverware so that they know if each other is stealing from them. Anu, where were you trancing at? And at this point, you would have probably just come to finish your trance.
But you want to know where I went in my trance, or where in the inn I was trancing at?
Where in the inn first,
okay,
and then we'll do with what you were trancing with.
Have you ever described what the inn looks like completely?
Not completely. So you enter the inn, and there is a bar immediately ahead of you, and then the seating is off to the left, along with the staging area. The hearth is to the front and left as well, and there are rooms both downstairs as well as upstairs and surrounding the balcony. There is an inside balcony, which allows most of the rooms to just sort of exit and peer over if they want to enjoy a performance, but maybe don't want to get fully dressed or come all the way down. Each of the rooms is furnished with a folding privacy wall, a bathtub with hot and cold running water, and a hearth of their own, as well as a curtained bed or sometimes multiple curtained beds. And each of the rooms is pointedly designed so that every room has a balcony because they all face outward from this establishment. So that no matter what room you have, if you have a second floor, third floor, or even fourth floor room, you have a clear view of Dorian proper, this sprawling city that stacks upon the mountainside.
Is there like the ceiling? Is it like rafters or is it like solid ceiling?
So the ceiling is shingled and it is actually tiered so that there's a little bit of ceiling above each of the levels, and then the rooms on the higher levels are smaller and so they're less expensive.
Okay, so I was thinking like staying within the bar, but like hanging up on. So like I don't know if you're getting what I'm getting at. Like it kind of looks like plank. Like if the ceiling's ever planked. I don't know if you've ever been to a building where there's still like open area, but it's holding up the kind of like it looks like it's holding up the ceiling.
Oh, you want to be in the rafters?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. You can absolutely do that. And how exactly were you planning on spending your trance? Were you searching for anything in particular?
Yeah, I wanted to go back and look to see if there was any other information I can get on the, I don't know why I want to say Aslandians.
The Aslari.
Aslari.
Okay. Go ahead and make an insight or religion check.
Well, let's see if the dice are nice to me this week. 24.
24. Okay.
That better not have been blowing your best roll of the night.
Don't jinx me.
Information is king.
So you trance, and as you do, you find yourself immersed into one of your past lives, just and you find yourself in the body of a muscular, armored warrior woman, your two-handed battle axe prepared. You're standing atop a hillside. On the other side of the hill, the Aslari rush, coming to claim your kingdom. Your people unleash their first volley of arrows, yet the Aslari use magic to avoid and protect from them. Something not incredibly common among your people as they try to keep their mages in check by number and not have too many in any one location for sake of safety. But it seems that the Aslari embrace them wholeheartedly, using their magic as a force of war. You see them slinging fire, ice, and lightning back at you. Towers crumble. You look overhead and see one of the spires of the garrison crumbles and starts falling towards you. You dodge and roll, and as you hear the crash, your vision goes dark. And you return back to your original place among the rafters. You hear the door creak open below you and see a sopping wet figure in a tricorn hat with a golden metal mask over half of his face, a symbol of Dorian guardsmanship.
stealthily kind of watch this fella.
Okay. So, as you watch him, Hake, what do you do?
I would sort of like shake off the rain. Is there like a hooks for coats and things near the door? And like,
there are.
He'll take off his outer coat, and he has like a big breastplate underneath. And you see like, is a uniform out with like a big collar and the cravat and all that. But there's like some armored plates, just the breastplate and his arms. And he'll shake off his coat and put his hat up there and walk up to the person cleaning the bar. And it's morning, right?
Yes.
Oh, it is as cold as a beer's lair out there.
Oh, and
might I have a cup of coffee?
Of course, I have some coffee. And he turns around and begins preparing a French press for you.
So as he does that, I'll turn around and like just kind of take in the room. He said there's not a lot of people, but I am sort of an investigator. And he'll also like touch that part of his mask, and you see like the eye lens changes a different color. And I'll cast Detect Magic and just kind of look around the room, both through that and just normally, just to see who's in and like what's the situation in here.
Okay, so first off, I need Anu to make a stealth roll, and Hake, make a perception or investigation check, your choice.
Ooh, investigation for sure.
While you guys are rolling those, Nim, what were you doing for the evening? Or the morning, I guess, as it were.
So Nim is an early riser, just one of those really obnoxious morning people, just very happy to be awake. And so she is getting ready for the day and letting Giselle sleep in a little bit, because Nim believes that children should sleep as much as possible, especially Giselle, because if Giselle's asleep, nothing's on fire.
Mm-hmm. This is very fair. Now, you guys did show up around dawn. So would you have skipped out in your sleep, or would you have decided to try to sleep through it?
So Nim definitely laid down and tried to sleep, but that circadian rhythm is very strong and no sleep.
Okay.
Sleep was missed.
So for note, then, you will have a point of exhaustion.
Okay.
What about Wisp?
Oh, Wisp crashed as soon as we got back. You need to realize that Wisp was partially hungover during that entire freaking nonsense last night. So Wisp came back and crashed because they're honestly a little bit annoyed at having to go out and do heroics. So, yeah, for as long as they are able to get away with it. And you can let me know if I should count that as a short rest or not.
Okay, you can count it as a short rest. Depending on how long it lasts, you may get a long rest. However, Nim, because you took a point of exhaustion for this, you're also aware of the door opening, and someone is speaking in a Voirais accent down below. You hear them mention coffee.
Well, that sounds delightful. Well, so am I the only one in the room with Giselle, or?
That depends on Masquerade.
No, Mask definitely crashed in there. I will get back to that in a minute.
Okay.
So Nim feels perfectly comfortable leaving a sleeping Giselle with Masquerade. So Nim is going to go downstairs and have some coffee just to put some pep in her step, because she's a little bit sleepy today.
Okay, so when you have coffee, coffee mechanically causes you to ignore the effects of exhaustion for 24 hours. So
I wish it worked that way in real life.
For real.
So you do not need to worry about your exhaustion for the time being. But you will accrue a second point if you choose to go sleepless again the following night. That being said, you come downstairs and you see a human wearing the uniform of a guard. What did you roll, SENITA, for your stealth?
I got 17.
17. Doug, what did Hake get for investigation or perception?
19 investigation.
All right, so Hake, you look up to the rafters and see a moon elf who is not only not commonly seen in your society, but in fact, often they're perceived as actively dangerous or even aggressive by your people because they tend to be reclusive and attack humans on sight. Currently in the rafters, chilling out up there. Nim, make a perception or insight roll. Your choice.
19.
19. So, Anu, you're aware that you've been spotted, and Nim, you are also aware Anu has been spotted by this guardsman.
Have I gotten my coffee yet?
You have gotten your coffee, in fact, and seeing Nim, the barkeep just turns around and starts making another mug.
I'll just, while I'm sipping my coffee, I'll just say, you might as well come down from there. I see you from where you're lurking in the shadows. Is it, now, quick question, is it like illegal to be moon elf? Like, would it be like, oh, okay.
It's not illegal. It would just be like seeing someone from a country you're actively at war with.
Sure, okay.
I
just wanted to make sure it wasn't like I was, obligated to.
Right. You're not obligated to do anything if she doesn't do anything.
Gotcha. Cool.
So, Anu, he says this. How do you respond?
I'm just gonna drop down.
Okay. Make an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice. You are dropping 4 stories down.
Oh, I didn't realize I was dropping 4 stories down.
Yeah.
Rogue stuff.
Do I go big or go home?
It's up to you.
I think you know the answer to that.
I think we all know what she's going to end up choosing.
Right. Right before a new drops, I look over to Hake and I say, you should be really thankful that's not a chandelier.
20. I got a net 20. 25.
Woo. Okay, so you watch as, like a liquid shadow, this moon elf drops to the floor, barely making a sound with her stuck landing. And as she looks up, you see that her shimmering blue skin is accentuated by her glowing blue eyes. A commonality among elves.
I do not think it's a coincidence that your eyes glow the same way that the same color as the clue that led me here. I believe
I'm interested.
And I'll toast, kind of like nod to, was it Wisp? Was that Marissa's name?
Nim.
No.
Nim. You're Nathaniel's.
Wisp is very different from Nim.
yeah, sorry. I got it mixed up. Forgot to write it down.
Although we did have a conversation about if they swap places earlier. So, Masquerade, you are very used to listening for subtle changes, being a bodyguard in the past. And still probably a little bit, probably fancying yourself one, I'm not sure. But you do hear footfalls of someone landing stealthily from very high up to down below you.
Which is enough to roust them from their very light sleep.
Okay.
Before I went to bed, I bribed the night staff to keep an eye out for like suspicious characters walking into the bar, and I set up cans on the window so that like if anybody tried to come in, I would hear it. Like I am keeping very careful watch on Giselle. Paranoia is high, and that sound, like I've got a suspicion, but it is not enough to stop me from waking up and dealing with it.
Okay. So as you exit the room, you do notice in the corner this...
Oh no, I'm not leaving Giselle alone in the room.
Oh, you're not. You're taking her with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try not to wake her.
So, as you carry the delicate child, you do notice this muscle-bound figure with these like fist weapons just sort of casually slotted in the fingers, just leaning with arms crossed against the corner at the end of the hall. And you recognize Raphael, the one who you bribed to keep a lookout for you.
I give an up nod.
He gives one in return. And you make your way to the balcony's edge where you see Anu, Hake, and Nim currently holding whatever conversation may ensue at this point.
That seems about right. I will find a place to perch on the balcony railing and just listen to what's going on and just like kind of rock Giselle to keep her sleeping.
Okay. All right. So you do so, and Hake, you, Nim, and Anu find yourselves now all standing around this bar. The only patrons who don't draw a paycheck from the bar currently.
Okay. Well, I mean, I might as well just come right out and say it. I think we're both might be seeking the same goal. There's children missing.
What do you know about the children missing? And Nim immediately goes into suspicious mode.
I'll sort of like look back, my head back and sort of taken aback because I'm in like a police uniform. Be like, well, I've been on the case for some time. And I was given a lead from a prominent individual who directed me to find what I believe is the lot of you.
We are very good at finding children. We have one.
I believe that I do not know how much you know of this, but this is a much more dangerous situation than you might expect.
I did have my suspicions.
And I'll sort of, is there like any booths or anything like that?
There are many booths lining the area.
I'll introduce, I'm Investigator Ake Fusilier, by the way. I work for the City Watch, but if you'd care to speak a little more privately, are your companions here around?
Yes, I believe so. Let's go ahead and have a seat. I'm Nim. This is Anu. And then I start looking around, and then I see that Mask is up there. Oh, and that's Mask. Oh, and Mask has brought Giselle. Giselle's still that's good. Fantastic. That child needs some sleep. That's the child I mentioned earlier, the one we have. We found her, but we knew her, and it's a long story. Honestly, let's go sit down. And then I motion to Mask.
And Mask will sweep down the stairs, and again, like very smooth motions, again, to prevent from waking the small one.
Okay. Wisp, you are in an adjacent room at this point. However, you hear footfalls passing your door, and you do hear just the faintest, breakfast from outside your door, coming from Giselle. And Giselle's just starting to rouse, but not really there yet, Mask. You're doing a very good job of keeping her asleep.
Eventually, darling, we'll make sure that there's cake.
Okay, cake. And she just sort of like nuzzles back into your shoulder.
Does she have Giselle with her?
They do have Giselle with them.
Is there anything magical about that from my detect magic? Or anything significant?
So you definitely see that Nim has a magic ring. You see that Giselle is pouring magic. And Anu and Masquerade both ping on your radar as spellcasters.
And Mask is like 6 feet tall, by the way. Like,
I'm obvious. Actually, I would try not to be obvious, but I am interested mostly in Giselle. I don't care about it. I would say I don't care about you, but that's
that's
the
fine.
focus of my interest. Takes interest.
So, for the record, Stevens, if I heard Giselle being any kind of up, I am going to drag myself out of bed because if she's awake, I don't want to be caught asleep and on fire.
That is an absolutely fair statement. So you drag yourself out of the bed, having completed a short rest, and you open the door to see Masquerade gliding down the stairs. And you see people drinking coffee. Those of you who do drink coffee, you do not deal with points of exhaustion. Anu's the only one who doesn't risk it because you only need 4 hours.
I'm like a cat.
Yes. So you guys do have the benefits once you drink the coffee of having gotten a long rest.
Great, because I've been up all night.
Nice.
So spell slots recovered, all that. You get invigorated from that caffeine. And yes, so last to the foray, you see a fawn approaching the balcony. Hake, androgynous in presentation, much like Masquerade. Though Masquerade's is more from covering up, whereas this one is just genuinely confounding. And seems to probably like it that way.
Okay.
Silver hair. Well, Nathaniel, do you want to describe your character in any particular way?
Elegant. And we'll move on.
Elegant, and also pinging with some damaged, though still magical, armor.
I'm so fucking mad about that.
Which
Does she actually carry herself like, elegant and
Let's
poised?
go with very fluid movements, dancerly movements.
Okay, gotcha.
You also know, Hake, that being an artificer, you are able to repair magic items.
Mm-hmm.
That is just a trait you have. If you take 8 hours, you can repair any magic item.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, coming down the stairs, I'm gonna be like looking at the damaged parts of my glimmer armor and muttering to myself about it.
Does Wisp join us over there?
Initially, no.
Oh.
Wisp goes to the bar. Wisp is not awake enough for this bullshit yet.
Gotcha.
And so, Wisp, you are offered coffee if you want, though.
Oh, yes.
He also asks if you want him to spice it up for you, and he gives you a wink.
Please.
And you see he reaches under the counter and pulls out a small flask and just starts pouring very subtly while looking back and forth, especially at the guard. And then slides it your way very nonchalantly.
Thank you.
You are quite welcome. I know how to deal with a hangover.
Well, if I have the chance, maybe I'll show you my appreciation later, and I will heel turn on that and leave him wondering and head over to the booth.
And he does look quite perplexed by that statement. Like he did, it just went shoo right over his head.
I'll stand up as Wisp approaches so that she can sit down. Milady?
You're what now?
Miss, please, I meant no offense. I only wish to offer you a seat at the table with your friends.
If that's what you want to go with, fine. That's your call. It's not mine. I'm gonna slide it right past him. A little, honestly, sort of bumping into him just a little. Not like knocking him over, but like more than I probably would have had to have done to get into that spot.
Okay. And that would make 5. Seems the information I got was correct.
Information.
Are we being tracked now? What have I missed?
No, not at all. Let me explain. I've been conducting an investigation of my own into these children that have gone missing, which I believe your young ward there might be one of them. I discovered a series of tunnels beneath the royal palace, which led me to a secret bay that had recently been destroyed by fire. I thought perhaps you might have been involved with this. I found a lot of... Oh, go ahead.
That depends on whether or not we're in trouble for it.
Maybe with some people, but that is not the focus of my investigation.
I'm just going to tilt my head. Was that one us? I am losing track.
Yes. That was actually mostly my fault. I blew up a keg of some kind of fuel.
Oh, that's right. And I'm going to sip my coffee.
That was when we got to ride the boats.
Oh, the God.
And you became the chosen one.
Oh, you shut your mouth. Shut it.
Like earmuffs.
I'm actually looking for the people to whom that black powder and cages belonged.
Aha.
I believe they are taking little ones, and I'll nod towards Giselle, for a very dangerous reason.
Yeah, that's certainly an area of interest for us as well.
Are you familiar with Crom? I'll say it kind of hesitantly.
More than a little bit.
I believe there is a faction of people within the government who are trying to imprison him for some reason and use his power. And these children have something to do with it. I can tell right away the one you have with you would be very much wanted by them.
That is seriously the grossest power to tap into. People have no taste.
I agree. This is a serious matter, but you, Motley Few, are not part of the structure of these factions, and so you can operate outside. That is why I believe Angelique Dubois pointed me in your direction.
And then I tap Mask. Angelique! Oh!
I'm glad to see she's getting her bearings.
She certainly seems to be filling real well, in my opinion.
Just this little bit of almost older sibling-ish pride there.
So, you're investigating all this, yes?
Indeed.
Okay. Where exactly do you figure we are going to be of any assistance on where you are in this? Because honestly, so far as what you're saying at this point, I don't feel like we know much more than you do.
Well, what I could tell you might put you in danger, but I'm willing to do that if this is important to me.
Oh, what else is new? Go right ahead.
When aren't we in danger?
I thought we were safe right now. I mean, this it seems fine.
My longtime mentor in the City Watch, Sean, is a member of a group called the Order of the Ghost Feather. Have you heard of this?
I'm trying to remember. Sorry, Stephen. Have we heard of
Yes,
this?
you have.
Yeah, we have, because
Okay.
those were the people that had the rings that were like the white feather that we found at the party that were being wang rods.
Yeah, they
don't
turned you
like
into the
them.
chosen one.
Wait, I thought those rings were red.
Nope, they're the ones that are responsible for Wisp being chosen.
All right.
Have you been targeted by them? Oh, you didn't say that out loud.
My face is just gonna if I'm gonna have this look that if anybody was in my direct line of sight, they probably would have dropped dead. That's the kind of look I'm just kind of giving the table right now.
But to be honest, this is as far as the trail went for me. I was hoping that maybe Angelique had pointed me here for a reason.
Well, we certainly can't leave a bunch of kids in danger if they still are, and I know Wisp in particular has got a bone to pick with those people.
Do you have a sense of what their overall goals are? Is it just the Crom thing, or is there more that you suspect?
I only know that they wish to imprison this entity in the wild and use its power somehow. I do not know how.
Yeah.
I must confess my own life could be in danger from investigating this. I'm sort of doing this of my own accord. But with the successor's blessing, I am able to operate more freely than I normally would.
If your life's not in danger, then you're not investigating right. So, like, if we were to try and, I don't know, nail one of the members of this organization to the wall, very impolitely, where'd be a place to maybe start with that?
Well, I'm only aware of my mentor's membership in this, but
how, just broadly speaking, how attached are you to your mentor? Like, is that a personal relationship or just strictly a business one?
I've known him almost my whole life, but now I feel like I have not known him at all.
See, let's lean on that second one. I like that second interpretation better. I think I can work with that more. Because if that's the only name you've got, I kind of feel like knocking on a door. I don't know about anybody else.
Unless we have another lead.
Do we know why the children are linked to this? Do we have any idea?
The child you hold in your hand is incredibly magical. I can see her aura from here.
But what are they? Why do they need the magic? Do we know what they're doing? And should we be moving a lot faster? Is what I'm asking. I'm worried that we're taking our time and helping people, but maybe not the people that need it most immediately. If that makes sense. I mean, what we did last night was important, but also at the same time, if, we did that instead of helping maybe some scared children, I do worry.
We wouldn't have gone if we didn't think that was going to be a lead to finding the missing kids.
That's very true, very true. I just...
The operation was disrupted by you greatly, so that may have bought us the time that we need to do these other investigations.
I mean, not to mention, it's not like we made the decision to abandon a group of children to deal with what went on last night. We're dealing with things as they come to the best of our ability.
And I would like those things to stop coming, is what I'm saying, and that we just go solve the one thing that we need to do, because this is very stressful.
Well, I mean, in that case, I'd say we have somebody's mentor to have a chat with.
Indeed.
I have not seen him in several days myself, so he may have gone to grounds for all I know, but it is the best place to start.
And it's also worth considering that they may just show up for us as we're looking, because
That's
we
true.
Do have Giselle.
Yes. Is her most safest place with you?
Yes.
So far.
Fair enough.
All right. Out of my way, uniform. Step up. Let me out.
Yeah, I do. Okay, I'm gonna bumble over myself to do that.
I'm gonna scoot myself over to the bar and inquire what food could be grabbed to go.
I follow over there and specifically order a slice of cake. Because I promised.
Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. I was on the case all night. What is the matter? What?
head
I
snaps.
immediately stiffen up. Me?
Uh-oh.
Well, I turn to these new people and say, like, you seem very adept at staying out of sight. I have nowhere else to turn.
I
I
need to find
promise
out what
I-
happened to Angelique first and foremost.
We got stuff
Yes,
stacking
that
on
is-
top of each other.
What's this woman's name? Do I know her? Okay. They're part of the investigation that I'm conducting. It's actually endorsed by the Queen's successor herself. I do have some authorization to acquire whatever assets I need. If you would care to help, you could at least cover for me.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I realized I was mute. So the lady approached and said
man, you're
that,
crushing it.
yeah, so she is named Corinne, and she knows Hake. She said that he was said to be a traitor, and Angelique is missing. Sorry about that. So she looks at all of you and just gives a nod. Lieutenant Corinne Jacquard, she, her, and all of you are...
People of concern, but do not. The less you know, the better, Corinne.
That's probably true enough. What do you know of what happened to Angelique?
Well, her servants went to get her up in the morning, and she was gone. Not in her bedchamber. Though it
Not
was
the first time
disturbed.
something like that has happened.
It was disturbed as though there was a struggle.
Okay, I'm going to need to get a look at that. And I imagine we would probably be headed to the same location for the forthcoming Q&A, as it were.
So, Corinne, just for clarification, you said it was her bedchamber, signs of a struggle, like a fun struggle or like a bad struggle?
Like
I
the
don't
sort
remember
of
the
struggle that involves blood on the floor.
Oh, okay. Somebody didn't set a safe word. Gotcha.
And
I'm just giving you such a look. But you can't see it because my face is all covered up. Never mind.
And it's just like, safe word? What?
I'll tell you when you're older.
the palace is currently on lockdown. No one is allowed in or out.
Well, allowed doesn't mean that we won't be able to manage it.
I'm glancing at a new right off the bat, like,
Oh, I can get this.
Is Corinne somebody that I've like known for a long time and trust, or just somebody ever?
Yes, she has always been very close to you. You guys were in the same regiment, and she got the promotion you wanted.
Okay. Gotcha.
Disrespectful.
I have bought you a bit of time. I told them that I thought you were following a lead on the opposite side of town. That should give you enough time to get ready and make yourself scarce. Beyond that, I need to make myself scarce from this area because I know they were trying to follow me. I don't know how long I'll be able to evade them.
Best of luck to you, Corinne.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Be safe. And then she looks at all of you. I don't need to inquire about who you are. If he trusts you, I trust you. Do what you can for our people. And she leaves the tavern, seemingly trying to be a little stealthy by popping her collar and just kind of like looking back and forth as she exits.
It's adorable.
I will turn to the barkeep person and say, is there another way out of here?
Yes, through the kitchen. It leads into the alleyway adjacent to this.
I'll grab my coat off the thing and be like, I may have a way to get us into the palace, not through the gates. If you trust me, that's where I will head now.
You're going to want to be working with a new.
super don't trust you for the record, but I've got nothing else going on this morning, so fine.
Fair enough.
You do hear what sounds like a struggle just a couple buildings down. And you hear Corinne shouting, "I don't know what you're doing!"
Oh, no. Well, then I'll make haste.
All right. So I need all of you to make an initiative roll
Oh,
against my people that are trying to pursue you.
wait.
We're going to see if you get out before they get in. And we do start the session with inspiration for what that's worth.
Yep, gonna need
How many,
that.
how many is it?
I'm gonna need that.
Okay.
Ooh, nat 20.
Okay.
Me too.
Wow, 2 nat 20s.
I got a 17.
17?
A 7.
7. Okay. And
All
Masquerade?
right, I got a 15, but I'm not gonna go like ahead of Nim. I'm going to hand her Giselle and take up the rear so that if anybody does catch up with us, they can get punched in the face real good.
Okay. I am going to say because you had 2 nat 20s, which is very unlikely, that will make up for Nim's failure. So all of you make it just through the entrance to the kitchen as the doors burst open and guards begin flooding in, demanding questions of the barkeeper. And you find yourselves in the kitchen.
Yeah, in the laps the path now. And I'll just run towards the back door if I can.
Okay.
Is anyone actually in the kitchen right now, or is it empty?
It is currently empty.
Okay, cool.
Is
Beeline out the
there
door.
any food like on the table, like pastries?
Yes, there are pastries on the table. And there is also like a handful worth of bacon.
I'm grabbing a muffin.
I'm grabbing
Okay.
a pastry and some bacon.
I grab
All
a few
right.
and I put them in my apron pockets as well, so we'll have snacks for later.
Okay, good luck
Do I
getting those
notice
grease
that?
stains out.
Slice of cake,
Do I,
biscuit.
do I notice that? Or, no, I guess by next I was just running straight for him.
If anyone's trying to hide it, make a sleight of hand check.
Not trying to hide it. Definitely gonna leave a gold piece on the table.
Do not give a
There's
shit.
bacon.
Oh,
in my
I'm
mouth as
actually
I'm
reaching
running
into my
towards the edge.
pocket to get a coin, but I see Masquerade do that and I give her a nod.
All right, so
Is that a gold piece? Yeah, that's like way more than that.
Masquerade,
Great. We're teamed with a narc.
you are
Hey, he's
you
just
are
a guy
the
trying
last
to
through.
Run a tavern.
So I need Masquerade to make one more initiative check for me as the guards start trying to enter the kitchen.
Let's use that inspiration.
Okay.
Hence.
Come on, D&D Beyond. Don't be slow on me. 13
What is your initiative modifier?
plus 3.
Roll against me again.
Okay. 11.
They got a 12.
Okay.
So just as you are leaving, they do notice your signature baubles on the ends of your hat. And so as they shut the door carefully,
Dangle.
you do see that they begin charging toward that door, Masquerade.
Can I just like slam it shut?
And you are in an alley full of crates and other non-essentials.
Okay, good. Let's move and knock those over behind us.
Okay. Make a athletics or sleight of hand, your choice.
Let's do sleight of hand. 21. Lucky
Okay.
roll.
Ooh, nice.
All right, so you manage to shove the crates over, and they are now a pile on the door. And you see that one of them actually falls so that it's in between the other side of the alley and the door. So as the door partway opens, the boxes crunch, and they're preventing the door from fully opening. And they start shouting orders to go around the front. Where are all of you going?
My instinct is to go to the closest route to go to those tunnels that I came out of.
Okay,
That were under the palace.
that would
but-
be via the front.
Oh,
Oh no.
it's like the. Oh, the front of the tavern?
Uh-huh.
We could hide, wait for them to come through here, and then backtrack.
Do you want to try that?
Sure.
Okay, everyone make a stealth roll.
God damn it, 12.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. 15. 19.
I have disadvantage, but my first roll is a 1, which is a total of 3, so it's not going to get any
Okay.
worse than that.
So, oh yeah. So, as you guys start to hide, you see Hake just kind of standing in the middle of the alley, looking for a place to hide, and you hear them shouting, "He's in the alley! Get him!"
Right, I'm gonna come out and help, because this is gonna be a fight.
Okay. You see that, there are guards that were coming from the opposite direction in the back, but they rolled a natural 1 to hear the command, so they just hear a command is given and don't know what it was. So they run past the alley without much thought. And we are going to, at this point, roll a group initiative, because I just want to see who's going in what order.
14.
So they
10.
got a 15.
Oh, you only needed the, okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
only one group. So we're going to say that they are going just before you guys. They're going to try to break through that door. And they failed with a 9. So those boxes are holding strong. Whatever's in them is pretty sturdy. And it's your guys' turn. Where are you running? Front, back, up, or down?
We're not dead. Like, trying to go up to the roof is a bad idea with Giselle in tow. Whatever's the most direct route, somebody who knows where they're going, just start moving.
Here's a question, Stephen. Being a guard myself, and not usually I'm the one chasing, what would my guard instincts be that, or not experience be that most criminals, like what's the hardest thing that criminals do when I'm chasing them? Go, like take to the roofs, that sort of thing. Like,
So you know the worst thing that criminals do that you just cannot stand is when they delve into the sewers to Dorian's Undercity, where there is an entire crime network.
okay. And where would I know where like the closest way to get there would be?
There's a manhole in the alley.
Then I would point to that and be like, "This is the worst. That's the one place that they almost definitely will not chase us."
All right.
Because it's gross.
Should probably get
It
some help
is.
opening this up. I am actually deceptively not strong.
I'm not sure any of us are very strong.
Which is why we need help.
Oh, actually, you know what? I can do that. Did you? You said Wisp has damaged armor.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I can repair your armor, and it may provide the solution to this as well.
Didn't Steven say that would take 8 hours?
Well, it depends.
That's
What
the
do you have?
tinkering thing. I actually have one of my infusions is to infuse armor with the ability to add your intelligence modifier on top of a strength check or a strength
That's
saving throw. To
Really
armor.
cool.
And
I didn't know that was the thing.
as long as it's infused, which is until it's not, or infuse something else. As a reaction, when you're knocked prone, you can expend a charge to not be knocked prone. It only has one charge.
I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna look at you skeptically and go, "All right, but if you screw this thing up more than it already is, I'm gonna have your balls."
Fair enough. And he's got on his breastplate, there's a little bandolier with several pouches, and I'll just reach into one with some little tools and things and do a quick little magical ritual type thing that only takes 6 seconds, and your armor's infused.
Okay.
And I'm just
Meanwhile-
imagining it would be, kind of fixed up magically too, but that's up to you.
So he pulls out this silver thread and starts patching where the hole is. And you watch as he does it. It almost looks like there's this flickering, superimposed, glowing thread that sort of wafts around it as he sews up the hole. And when he does, it does shimmer closed, and you feel yourself empowered, and you can suddenly see all of the weak points and best places to grab things or hit things or generally use your leverage to your advantage.
Okay, Narc, my opinion of you improved a little bit. Let's get this manhole up.
All right, make an
It has
athletics
that
roll.
effect on people. I grow on you.
Like
I'm sorry, a
cave
what
mold.
roll, Steven?
Athletics.
Athletics. Ooh, hello.
You can add your intelligence on top of that. Whatever.
What? Well, if I'm doing that, then that is a 23.
23. Okay. So you easily lift this manhole cover. You find just the perfect way to grab it, and you lift, and it is open. You guys can get in at your leisure.
Get a move on.
Yeah, I jumped right down into the muck.
All
I'll be
right.
taking up the rear.
Make an athletics or acrobatics check when you jump.
All right.
Well, initially, at least, Mask, I'm gonna have to be the last one to come down because I'm holding.
Oh yeah, I
the-
gotta close the manhole.
Yeah.
And I need to
Okay.
hand Giselle down to somebody so I can get in there, because there's no way Nim is climbing down holding something. Let's be real.
Is there like oh shit.
I'll catch her if nobody else does. I got a 14 for athletics.
14. You find that
I
this
gotta follow.
floor under here is very slippery, and you nearly slide into the river of muck and filth. And it is putrescent down here. Like the acrid smell of waste and death and rot is just assaulting your senses in the worst way. Like you can't help but cringe a little bit as you try to hold back the retching.
Okay.
Is there not a ladder?
There is a ladder. He chose to jump.
Oh, okay.
So are you
I
using
don't
the
want them
ladder?
to see.
Andy?
Yeah, but I'm gonna like hop skip down it.
Okay. So that's easy enough to do. Make an athletics or acrobatics check when you get to the bottom.
$12.
12. You also manage to stay on your feet, but you realize this floor is slick and is considered difficult terrain. If you don't treat it as such, then you are liable to slide into the filth.
Okay.
Who's next?
I'm going to hand Giselle down to whoever takes her. I think Hank said he was going to.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can. Yeah, sure. If she knows you.
That does
Okay.
not
I just
require
don't
a
know.
roll because you are not traversing anything.
And then I'm going to take the ladder very slowly, very carefully, much to the annoyance of both Wisp and Mask, because I'm being super duper careful because Nim is not an athlete.
Okay, because you are taking that time, I'm going to say you have advantage on your athletics roll, but they also are going to have advantage to break the boxes open.
Oh, spoot. Okay. 19.
You stay on your feet. And who's next?
I got a 23.
A 23. Okay, you are good. You are on your feet, and you hear the crash of the crates. Wisp, you're the last one.
Are they like busting through right now, or are they
Yes.
still trying to get through the rubble?
They're busting through right now, and you have just enough time to get in if you want to not engage in combat.
All right, just one quick question. Would they have seen me by now already, or no?
So they have seen you. They know what
Okay.
you look like at this point.
No, I don't mean that, but like, do they see that do they have advantage to see me about to go down into the sewer?
Let's see. Oh, yes.
Shit. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to cast Phantasmal Force.
Okay.
I'm going to need an intelligence save from whoever is looking at me.
Okay, that's two of them. Okay, that is a natural 1 and a 5 plus 2, 6. 7.
Perfect.
7. I lied.
Well, it fails either way. Perfect. So what they see is what looks like a solid rock wall erupt out of the ground and going up 10 feet high and blocking the alleyway between where they are and where I am. And I'm heading down.
All right, and when you do that, you hear them shout, "They are spellcasters!"
Fuck 'em.
And now I need an
Sherlock.
athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay, let's see. I've got decent on both of them. What's my better one? Oh, yeah, of course.
You can still add your intelligence to that, too.
No, it's okay. I got a 23 as is.
Oh yeah, you're way good. So, you guys are now in the sewer system.
Oh, and Steven, as soon as I'm down here and I get the smell, I'm prestidigitating right under my nose a nice scent of flowers.
Okay, that's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Do I have prestidigitation? That was a good idea. I do, in fact. I followed suit. That was smart.
Okay. So,
I'll do it real quick to Giselle, too, because I feel bad for the kid.
Also, we don't want, like, the... Ew.
All right, this Syrinscape, sir.
the bog of eternal stench
That
sounds
was the-
back.
First thing I thought, yeah.
This is why Steven wanted us to come down here so badly.
I'll never tell.
I don't think you have to. We've already got it figured out.
Fair. So, yes. You guys now find yourselves in the sewer system. There are steam pipes lining these walls, as well as pipes that carry cold water and sewage. And you see that the sewage frequently dumps at regular intervals into this river of muck. So, yeah.
So, Narc, what direction?
Which do I know which direction to head, Steve?
Do you have a navigator's tools or anything of that nature?
No.
Okay.
But I want to be confident, so I'll pick a direction that I feel like is towards the palace and lead that way.
Okay. So, you...
I'll say I apologize for the stench, but they will not follow us down here without further orders from superiors. Or they shouldn't, anyway. That is the protocol.
Oh, they won't be coming down, at least not where we went in, so don't worry about that.
We're going to end up smelling like sewer.
One problem at a time.
I look into my apron pockets. Ooh, these cookies and pastries are probably ruined.
They aren't yet, actually, because you made your check.
I just worry that the flour and the bread crumb structure is just going to hold on to the stink.
It probably will if you don't eat it quick.
I am stuffing my muffin in my mouth at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I was
I'm passing one to
bacon
Giselle.
in my mouth.
Okay.
Is there?
Put it in your mouth. Sorry.
So, Doug, have
Yes.
Hake roll a survival check at disadvantage.
Okay. First roll, 15. Second one, 14.
14.
Oh,
Okay.
14.
You actually are heading in roughly the right direction. You take a couple wrong turns, and occasionally you hear voices whispering in the sewers, which you know is never a good sign.
Now,
But
you said, like, you know, the underbelly, like, uses these tunnels for, you know, sort of like a network, right?
yes, as do criminal mages.
Oh. Can I make out any of what people are saying? Are they speaking, like, common, or is it just, like, ambient, you know, we're aware that there is other people.
They are speaking Undercommon
Oh, I actually speak
and
that.
Thieves'
I learned-
Cant.
I don't know that, but I do know Undercommon.
So you
I know
know
thieves can't.
they're talking about a lot
Really?
of mundane things that don't make sense when put together,
Okay.
which anew you would recognize as they're aware that someone has entered who hasn't called the password.
Can I hear the password? Or did they not mention it?
So at this point, I'm going to ask you about your character. Do you live in Dorian, or did you come from elsewhere? You have a criminal background, so you could be part of this network if you choose.
Is it possible for Red Elves to live in Dorian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You would have to live beneath the surface down here to do so safely.
Oh. Yeah.
Or in the slums that are given mostly to the Dark Elves. Excuse me.
Yeah, I live in Dorian.
Okay. Do you live in the slums or down here?
I feel like I want to say both.
Okay. So,
A little bit of a is it pronounced vagabond? Vagabond?
okay.
Vagabond.
So you probably would have a contact who lives in the slums that is also part of this network. Which means you also have a safe place you can go to that is trustworthy if you need to hide out in the city. That being said, you would know that the current password is Painter's Blood.
That's dark. Just a heads up. If we get caught, Painter's Blood. Don't worry about anything. Just keep that in your head.
I understand.
All right. So you guys are traveling your way through the Undercity. Or rather through the outskirts of it. You haven't encountered any domiciles or anything as of yet. Make another survival check, Hake. This is considered a complex test, so one of you may assist to negate his disadvantage if you like.
Everybody looks at it new.
That's true. Yeah, you know what? I'll sort of try to talk to a new, not like whisper, but just like.
My survival
between her
is
and
low.
us, like-
What do you mean?
Can't you use another skill?
But you're familiar with down here.
Anu, you don't have to roll to help him. You can just
okay.
help him if you want.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just saying, for the role, for setting the scene. I'd be like, I confess I may have made a wrong turn. Oh, survival. Let's see. Okay. Come on, roller. 7.
7. Okay. So, 7. You take another turn.
That didn't sound.
Right.
Oh, 7. Okay.
So, as you turn down this next way, you get about halfway down this corridor before you begin to realize, oh, the smell is gone. It's very pleasant down here. You as players would recognize it actually smells strongly of like bleach and chlorine. And you see there is a grate that blocks the tunnel passage at the end of the tunnel. But you don't come to it until, what light source do you have? Besides Nim's ring, that is.
Well, if there was nothing else, I would have summoned dancing lights.
Okay, fair enough. So
My city badge lights up too, and just in a 5-foot radius though.
okay.
I'm just
So
imagining you like pressing it.
It's actually like a little like a little ball-shaped oil lantern that hangs off that bandolier. Just got a little bit inside.
so
Yeah, if we are
I just
devoid
had
of light
night
sources, I would have had dancing lights a few feet ahead of us.
okay. So you most definitely can have dancing lights ahead of you. And you do so to see the grate just a little bit before you would. Anu, right around now is when your knowledge of this place triggers and you realize, shit. Bleach, like this smell is very dangerous, and it means something is here. And just as you're thinking that, who's at the back?
I am.
Okay.
I just realized I need to speak up. I can't just raise my hand. People don't see it.
Yeah.
I saw you. I see you.
Masquerade. As Masquerade is walking at the end of the group, they see a shadow move in their periphery. It's almost like the shadow cast by Wisp's body, which is long and reaching nearly to your feet, stretches just a little longer to behind you. And you start seeing other shadows begin moving in behind you to trap the light. And then you notice a strange, oily sheen on the shadows.
Oh, this really is like smelling cucumbers in the forest, isn't it?
And at this point, I need everyone to roll initiative.
How dare you?
As you see the
6.
shadows form into this pile of inky glop that seems to move and burble of its own accord.
No, thank you.
We are
So-
not following you anymore.
Did anyone get 20
Flammable.
or above?
Yeah.
No? Okay, 15 to 20.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I guess that means that the black puddings are going first.
Puddings.
And
Black puddings.
10 to 15.
13.
12.
10.
Oh,
14.
everybody.
I got
No, not
14.
me. I'm under 10.
So,
Save
Hank,
the best for last.
Nim, Mask, and Anu, and then Wisp. Okay. So, you are facing off against these almost stereotypical recurrences in Bard's tales of, you know, monsters that heroes regularly encounter. In fact, Wisp, you know for a fact that about half of the bards that put these in their tales are simply embellishing, because you don't survive black puddings nearly as frequently as the bards would like you to think.
Great.
And you see there are currently 2 at the end of the corridor. One on one side of the muck, the other on the other. And we're going to start with them. So one is going to use its pseudopod action, which allows it to make an attack against Masquerade, who is at the end of the group. That is a 16 versus your armor class.
That hits.
That hits. Okay, I'm going to adjust this music just a tad.
Let me check
There
something
we
real
go.
quick.
Okay, you have a thing you can use?
Maybe. Oh, no, I would have to... Wait, yes, I can, because I can cast Shield as a reaction and then put my Arcane Ward up.
Okay, all right. So you are going
And if
to
I-
cast Shield, which
Yes.
does that make it so it doesn't
That
hit?
raises my AC, I believe.
Uh-huh.
By +5, so I am no longer hit, and I have my shimmery Arcane Ward up around me.
Okay. All right. So you, just as this tendril lashes out in your direction, it splashes against this warped air energy that almost looks like a mask as it crackles with this static magic through the air. And you are protected by your shield, and the first black pudding has failed its assault. The second is now going to come at you, and it can move fluidly through the river of muck, as though it were nothing. But it's not going to go for you. It's instead going to head for the one with the child, because the child looks like the easiest target. So Nim, that's you. That is a 25 versus your armor class. Oh wow, that was almost a crit.
Can I use distraction as a reaction?
You can! So it has disadvantage?
And it rhymes.
Oh
mean-
my goodness.
Hopefully it gets less than 25.
Wow. Okay, that is an 8 plus 6, 14.
So it says make a saving, or you can use reaction to make creature make a saving throw. If they fail a saving throw, they are interrupted.
Oh, that would be its saving throw. It is interrupted because it failed.
Okay. And then it says DC 8 plus charisma plus proficiency bonus. I don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, your charisma is 3 and your proficiency is 3 as well. So that's 6. So you're at 15 and it got a 14. So you're good.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right. So you see as Nim, how do you distract it?
I just look at it and say, your shoe's untied!
And strangely enough, it's almost mystical as the creature pauses for a moment and just burbles there, and then you hear this extra little blorp, and then it continues heading toward Nim, but cannot attack this round. And that would bring us then to Hake.
So this thing's right up in the midst of us, and
Yes, one of them is.
Going after Giselle, it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will sort of try to get as close to that as I can, and shield Giselle, and
Okay.
I'll kind of swing my staff around and just runs his thumb kind of over this yellow gem, and I will cast Thunder Wave through it to try to get this thing away from them.
Okay, does that also hit your party members?
Boy, well, how are we arranged? That does change things. If they were I wouldn't want to.
I mean, you're gonna have to move for it because you were at the head of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll tell you what. Instead, I'll still do that and try to get in front of them, but I'll use Scorching Ray.
Okay.
No, hang on. So hold on. The way Thunderwave works is, it's everything within a 15-foot cube of you. So unless you got 15 feet away from all of us.
Yeah, so I wouldn't definitely not do that. I don't want to hurt anybody. So I'll do Scorching Ray, just it's 3 red beams.
Okay.
Sort of coalesce along the length of this wooden gnarled shaft and fire at it.
Okay, make your attack rolls. Wisp is very familiar with Thunder Wave.
Yeah. Okay, first one's a 27.
27 will absolutely hit. That's 20 more than you needed.
Second one's 10.
Okay, that will hit.
Oh yeah, they're oozes. Mm-hmm. And third one's 23, so...
23. Okay.
That is 6d6 damage, I guess. I'm just going to use the...
So all of those are going to hit.
5, 6... Roll. Ooh, wow, I see 6, 6, 6. Yeah. 32 fire damage.
32! Whew! Okay, so you blast a chunk out of this thing as its liquid form actually ignites, exploding a little bit as though it is fuel for the fire. And you see, it looks like it begins trying to back away.
Okay, good.
It does have enough survival instinct to do that. So, Nim, you're next. You have a child, and Hake just defended you from the burbling thing in front of you.
So when I'm holding Giselle, my one goal is to kind of get her into the safest spot possible. So I want to go kind of behind everybody as much as I can, especially since I have 0 magical abilities, and these pudding situations do not look like something that I can easily handle with, my knife or pastries. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. Are you going to encourage anyone?
Yes, I would like to encourage Mask.
Okay.
When it's Mask's turn.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's a reaction for you, isn't it?
Yeah. So when anybody makes an ability check, attack, or save, I can use that reaction.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So that's Nim. Masquerade, what are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Magic Missile at the one that's going after Giselle, because I'm fairly confident that I'm not gonna die immediately. I can just bend from over here, but that thing I'm mad at.
Okay, you can, if you choose, to make either an animal handling or arcana check.
And then add my charisma, right? Because of encouragement.
Sure, if you want to encourage for that.
Okay, so that's 21 animal handling.
You can tell that the black pudding that you are targeting right now is getting ready to flee. It has taken
Okay, well then I'll
too
hit
much
the other
damage.
one.
Okay. So you're going to hit the one in front of you. And that just auto hits, so roll that damage.
13 total.
13. All right. These ethereal projections of masquerade masks launch at this creature, exploding and taking away chunks of liquid that splatter against the wall and sizzle the stone just a bit. And one of them actually, let me see. Oh, it does not hit a pipe to cause steam in the room.
Thank goodness.
Okay. So, Masquerade, do you want to do anything else with your bonus action or anything of that nature?
Well, no, I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. So, that brings us up to Anu. Anu, what are you doing?
The thing that's attacking Mask running away yet?
No, it is not.
Okay. Then I'm gonna try to firebolt it.
Okay.
$13?
13 will hit.
Bet. 12.
12. Okay. So you see that, well, what color is your fire?
I want blue fire.
All right, so you watch as Anu flawlessly pulls blue fire from nothing and slings it in a pyrotechnic burst that explodes this liquid ooze all over the place, and it does hit a pipeline, so now there is steam pouring into the chamber. And
chaos.
Wisp, it's your turn. You are the agent of chaos. Why are you not a sorcerer, SENITA?
So the one that isn't fleeing, I want a sacred flame it.
Okay, that is a dexterity roll for it. Oh,
Yep.
they're bad at these.
Good.
It's a dirty one.
Alrighty. Let's see here. That's 8 damage.
8 damage. Oh my.
8 radiant, to be
8
specific.
radiant damage. Okay. So, this thing gets another chunk blown out of it. And as it does, you see that this radiant fire seems to still be crackling and fizzling on it. And this one also begins to flee. It is their turn. So, one of them, the one on Masquerade, is going to disengage and splorp into the river.
Splorp.
Yes, I like that word. I could have made the actual sound effect, but I decided against it. And the other one is going to disengage from Nim and also splorp into the river and got a natural 20 for its stealth roll. So you can perceive the one that was attacking Mask, but it seems that both are fleeing at this point. Hake, what are you doing?
Let's see, they're both fleeing. It's all steamy. Giselle is shaved. Do I see Wisp and Masquerade, or are they, like, lost in the steam?
Everything is obscured right now. Also, I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Okay.
As this steam is hot.
Oh. Alright, that's 15, and I'll try to move out of the steam, and I mainly want to keep Giselle in sight, but I'll just call out to Wisp and Masquerade.
Okay.
Are you
So
there? I can't see anything.
And what'd you get for your saving throw?
15.
15. Okay, you resist taking any damage, but you can tell that as you remain in the steam, that DC is going to get harder and harder to resist the heat.
Okay, so I'll try to back up out of the steam, and I'll just hold a firebolt if I see a black pudding come out of the steam.
Easy enough to do. That will put us, and you get out of the steam at the end of the hallway, just kind of like carefully trying to serpentine your way through your companions. Nim, what are you doing? Oh, I need a Constitution saving throw from you, and I have to make one for Giselle. Giselle got a natural 20, which is only appropriate given fire damage.
I would like the record to show that I got a natural 1.
Oh!
And I am not meant for so much adventure.
So, okay, you are going to take...
You're getting adventure all over you.
6 fire damage.
How much?
6.
Oh, okay.
6 fire damage.
It sounded
from
like you said
the steam.
fixed for a second.
No.
And I'm like, what's fixed damage?
Nope.
It sounds terrifying, Steven.
That is 6 fire damage. And what would you like to do at this point?
He's gonna stand in the steam, Steven.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see anything, so I'm just gonna, like, keep protecting Giselle as much as I can, like, just block her with my body.
Okay. All right, you can definitely do that. So you also maneuver your way next to Hake, and now you can see him outside, and there's just like this steam already condensed on both of you, and your cheeks are red and flushed, and it is just like really uncomfortable sauna levels in here already. And that will put us into masquerade territory. So what is masquerade doing? I need a constitution saving throw first.
You say this, but this is like the saving throw I'm the worst at. And that's gonna be a 5, sir.
5. You take 2 fire damage.
Actually, my arcane ward takes 2 fire damage.
Oh.
I'm fine.
All right. Does it fizzle, or is it still there?
No, it has 5 hit points, so
Oh, wow.
I've still got 3. Unless I cast an abjuration spell, and then it will heal. So I'm just gonna move along the wall to where I heard footsteps.
Okay. You see as your arcane ward is popping and sizzling in individual places, as almost like raindrops, the steam is condensing and then sizzling back away quickly, but it's thinning your ward just a little bit.
But like if the rain were made of molten gold.
Exactly. And that will put us at a new.
Hey, a constitution save and throw. Let's see where I'm at. 18.
18. You are good. You do not take fire damage.
Awesome. I'm gonna go via the way we came in.
Okay.
Wait, or whatever. Follow everyone. I assume they backtracked.
All right. Yes, you can definitely backtrack, and you find everyone else outside the cloud. Wisp, it's all on you at this point.
That is a 13 Constitution.
You do not take fire damage.
Whoo! I'm following the group.
All right. You follow the group, and all of you make your way out of this cloud and find yourselves.
Are we still in combat, or are we out?
You are out of combat.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna healing word Nim real quick. Nim, that's 6 points of healing for you.
Well, that's perfect. Thank you. Good as new.
Is everyone all right?
It's a little warm.
Fun. Perhaps I have a way that could possibly help. I'm not the only one familiar with these tunnels. Wow. Now I have a. Now, how I have a pet mouse.
Uh-huh.
How intelligent is my mouse?
Your mouse is as intelligent as we'll say a 1-year-old.
Oh.
It can understand basic speech. It can act on basic speech. It can do a couple of tricks, not much more.
And it thinks peekaboo is hilarious.
So it's not like Munchie. Darn. I was hoping for a Munchie mouse. Dragon Quest VIII, it's just a mouse that helps out anytime you need, like, it's like, oh, hey, you have to go into this room and go scare a lizard, and it goes scares the lizard.
Mm-hmm. It can do things like that. It just, it doesn't do a lot else.
Oh, yeah, no, like, is my mouse able to guide us in the direction, considering we've all lived down here, but it has a better sense of direction being smaller?
We'll say yes, because rats and mice are used to carry messages down here.
Alright.
So it can find where the messages are being sent from and received. But that will also put you in the heart of the Undercity, where you know you're the only one that really fits in here.
It's almost like that's a pattern.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what, that I'm the only one who fits there?
Well, you are the only criminal in the group.
I was making a joke about how we got stuck in the Elven City.
Oh, yeah. That is true. But yeah, it would be able to go the opposite way, because I imagine we need to go to, at the very least, it can bring us up to the slums, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's do that.
Okay. Because it is trained to take messages to you, actually. So it can definitely guide you to the slums. And I need you to make a survival check for your pet rat. I mean, it uses the stats of a rat, it's a mouse, but you know.
9. Ugh.
9.
That looked like a 1 for a second. Why is that 7 so close to 1?
Well, you actually succeed because the mouse has a lower DC than the rest of you. So it takes a couple wrong turns. Let's see if any of them are dangerous. Darn, none of them are dangerous. So you do manage to make your way to a ladder where the mouse sort of stops and sits up on its 2 little legs and kind of gives you like a little cheep cheep.
I am giving the mouse some of my pastry.
It loves that pastry.
I'm putting it back in my pocket. Let me go first.
All right. So you circumvent your way around and up to this ladder, and it is right on a corner. So I need you to make an athletics or an acrobatics check for me as you climb the ladder that is wet and slippery with filth.
So gross. $10.
Okay, 10. You succeed. As you do, you feel one of the rungs of the ladder starts to give way a little bit.
Oh, fun.
It is rusted through and is not very well maintained, probably on purpose. And who's next climbing up the ladder?
Be careful on your way up.
I'll go up
Okay.
if nobody else does.
All right. Hake, make an athletics or an acrobatics check.
All right,
This
let's
is
go
gonna get
with
us
it.
in trouble.
13.
13. You succeed. And you hear this, and you feel one of the rungs starts to give, but you quickly grab the next rung and avoid breaking it off. And you make your way the rest of the way up without issue.
And
Who's
when I
next?
get up on the street, I'm gonna my long leather duster. I'm gonna just clasp it closed over my breastplate and uniform as much as I can.
Okay,
'Cause
it's
the thing's just
very
like
hard to hide your uniform on purpose.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it still closes, so.
Who's next?
I'm gonna pass Giselle up,
Okay.
and then I'll climb on up.
All right, a two-person to grab Giselle without her.
All
hitting
right.
me.
And Giselle is just starting to rouse at this point as she gets handed up.
Well, she slept through the pudding fight. How precious.
She did.
Oopsie daisy.
And she kind of wrinkles her nose and she's like, "It's stinky."
It sure is, but we're about to go get some fresh air. Just
Okay.
her.
And she kind of like rolls her neck and is trying to like wake up a little bit, and you take her, and she gets up without issue. So who's next?
I'll go.
All right, Wisp is going. So make a athletics or acrobatics. This is filthy, though less filthy now that multiple people have traversed it.
Shit. That's a 7.
7.
What a thing to say in the sewer.
So you slip and fall, and you manage to catch yourself on the ledge, but you are sploosh, waist deep in filth. Your fur is going to need a thorough shampoo after this.
Technically, you can also use prestidigitation for that.
You can, it's true.
I'm gonna be as soon as I'm out of here. Do I have to roll to try and get up again?
Wow, that was intense. You do in fact have to try to roll to get up again.
Fuck! That's another 7.
Oh my goodness.
Masquerade, you notice just as Wisp is starting to climb out, their hand hits this patch of gunk and it slides, and they plunge all the way underneath the sewer water. And you
But you're
now
so lucky I like you.
cannot see them. You can't see Wisp as
Okay,
the
well,
rolling muck is probably starting to carry them downstream.
No.
alright, so I would immediately, as soon as Wisp plunged under, shove a hand in there and just try to grab them blindly.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make an initiative check.
Okay. 12.
12. So you got exactly what you need. You find Wisp's horn. And Wisp, someone yanks your horn, and it hurts. But someone has you, and you are not being carried away.
Oh, I am very sorry, but in most cultures, this is better than drowning in shit.
And you actually manage to pull them up out of the river, avoiding a potential disaster.
We never have to speak of this again.
I won't.
And you see Wisp is caked in filth, like head to toe. It is
I'm gonna
almost
help
nauseating.
with the prestidigitating.
Okay.
However many shots of prestidigitation it takes.
We'll
I
also
will,
get my
yes.
hand.
Yeah, it takes about a minute, but you manage to get all of the filth out of the fur with only the faintest lingering hint of the scent still wafting away.
All right. I'm going to try this again.
Okay.
And you get it.
23.
You make it up without issue.
I would say with a plum.
And
Mash.
you feel the and the rung, third from the top, gives way just a little more. Who's next?
As soon as I'm out, if anyone's looking at me, I'm just like, don't say a damn word. Don't ask.
I take up the rear per usual.
Okay.
May I use acrobatics?
So that will be Nim first then, because Nim is not actually up yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't
well,
done a check yet.
All right, Nim. Go ahead and
Well,
make
you
that
saw
do
that.
athletics or acrobatics.
Embarrass me, okay?
What'd you get?
4.
So, Nim slides off the ladder and plunge waist deep into filth. And now you got to make another athletics or acrobatics check.
I'm like already holding the hand out and prepared for the worst.
Okay, that will give you
You're holding
advantage,
prestige.
Nim.
Oh, advantage? Thank you. Good. All right, 14.
14. You pull your dress, which is now soaked in filth, out, and you're pretty sure there's a turd in your shoe. But otherwise, you are fine and unharmed. Certainly not as harrowed as Wisp.
We'll prestidigitate you when we get upstairs.
And we will use that roll for your climb up. And you feel this... And it's almost given way, but that third from the last rung has not quite given up hope.
So has it like actually been making noise this whole time?
Yes, and you see it lowers just a little bit as this rusted piece where it connects to the rest of the ladder has been crumbling and raining orange dust pretty steadily.
Yeah, when it gets to me, I'm instead of grabbing that rung, I'm gonna hold on to the sides of the ladder.
Okay, that will increase your DC a little bit.
That's fine.
All right, go ahead and make
Acrobatics.
it. You can do that.
17.
17. Okay. You make it up the ladder, avoiding that rung and not having to deal with what would have broken. And you make it all the way up. You now find yourselves in a back alley. You see two people, sort of half covered in rags, the other half covered in papers of various sorts, as Dorian does actually have a newspaper and has recently invented the printing press. You see that these two individuals, while appearing sleeping, anyone with an insight that's passive above 14 will notice that these people are actually guarding the entrance exit to the Undercity.
Prestidigitating.
And
I have a passive insight of 15.
so you know this. You don't even have to have an insight roll. You know it. You
I
know
had
this
14.
is what's going on.
I don't know if you had to meet it or beat it or beat it.
One of them is a human, but the other is a dark elf. And Anu, you know that the dark elves, they look basically like humans except with pointed ears. Their eyes do not glow, their skin does not shimmer, and their skin comes in the same range as human skin. And they actually would be a little difficult to peg here if it weren't for just that telling little nub under the hood. And you find yourselves now in the slums. As you walk out, you see that filth water that's just a little bit cleaner than that in the sewers runs in the middle of the street. There are people hanging out rags across clotheslines that are draped between stacked buildings. This area feels overpopulated in the most severe way. You see a couple of dogs fighting over a bone off to the side, and children, while playing in the street, seem to be shooed away by adults rather than guarded by them. You see several people, when they notice Hake, close their doors and shutter their windows. A few offer for the children to come inside when they notice his guardsman badge. Only in seeing Anu do the people seem a bit eased, but seeing all of you, you clearly don't belong here, and they are not happy. The majority of the residents here seem to be dark elves, with just a few humans interspersed. And Anu will guide you to a dilapidated and slightly crumbling in one corner building, which is the home of your contact, Anu, which you can tell us as little or as much about as you like as you walk through the door.
My contact's name is Cider. He's
Okay.
a dark elf. Here. That's all I'm gonna let you know for now. Just
Okay.
say hello when you see him.
All right. And how does Cider look?
Sidon is a bit taller than me,
Okay.
and he's missing a chip on his left ear.
Okay.
He's missing the tip of his left ear,
Okay.
and there's a scar running down his left cheek.
Okay.
Sounds like a duel gone wrong.
Yeah. Hair color, eye color, anything like that? Dress?
Eye colors are
Ooh, heterochromia. Interesting.
I think his skin is dark brown
Okay.
and it's black hair,
Black hair.
but kept short,
Okay.
and hazel eyes.
Hazel
Ooh.
eyes.
That is technically still heterochromia, by the way. It's just the most common form of it.
Okay.
What is heterochromia?
Yeah,
It's when you have more than one eye color in your eyes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So hazel has both green and brown.
Yep.
Okay.
So you see, is it Sidon or Cider?
Sidon.
Sidon. So you see Sidon sort of lounging against this table, clearly morning drunk. And he sort of looks up at you, gives you a nod, and goes to taking a large swig of whatever's in this mug.
Morning, Sidon.
Morning. Friends?
Yes.
Can you...
Except this one.
I say thanks, Daniel.
He's new, so we're still deciding.
Why'd you bring a guard here?
That's what I said. We're still deciding.
He's
Look,
technically wanted by the other guards right
That
now, if that
too.
helps at all.
Yeah, Narc, we might want to get you a change of clothes.
wait, is this a fetish thing? Color me impressed.
Nim's just like, what?
I mean, not that I know of, but you know.
Just put a sock or something on the door this time, please.
Not that kind of party.
Oh,
Can we borrow some clothes?
I mean, whatever we've got, sure. Depending on who it's for, they may not fit super well.
Well, they probably fit better than this uniform will in your neighborhood. Thank you for allowing me into your home.
Oh, I didn't allow you, she did.
Well, nevertheless, I am inside, and I appreciate the comfort.
Very well. Laid my clothing, put a couple silver there. If it's worth something, chances are it's worth more than you think. And he sort of like winks at Anu.
But tell you what, I'll just slide a gold your way.
Where'd you get this? You've been gone for days, by the way. Where have you been?
I crashed a party.
Yes, you told me you were crashing a party. That was nearly a week ago.
No, I literally crashed it, and then I found these guys, and well,
Was it more than a week ago? I'm confused. I've probably been drunk that whole time.
Respect.
Oh, well, who are you? And
My name's-
he sort of like leans forward, and you can smell the heavy ale on his breath.
Probably smells better than the sewer.
I'm going to prestidigitate a minty freshness into his mouth and say, "My name is Wisp, and you're
Oh.
welcome."
What have you done for me? Or maybe what can you do for me?
I slap the table in front of us. No.
What? It's only fair. You bring a guard into the house, I flirt with someone else. That's how this works, right?
Makes sense to me.
Quid pro quo, if you will.
Wisp, I wouldn't go there.
I wasn't planning to go there. I can flirt and not have to
Gonna
go
put
there.
my hands over Giselle's ears.
I'm gonna lean towards Mask. When they say go there, are they talking about what I think they're talking about? My goodness. The sun is out.
That just means you can see what you're doing better.
What? What?
Oh my god, don't make me laugh that hard, it hurts.
And then he sort of looks to the child and he's like, oh, is this a criminal thing? Is that child special or something? Some nobleman's daughter or some nonsense?
Something like that.
Oh dear. Why do you bring that into our house, Anu?
No. Stop talking. No. She's not a nobleman's child. She's a child that was attempted to be trafficked and we saved.
Oh, well, good for you then. You may want to keep it down and stay scarce. Word is that the guards are about to come through and sweep the slums.
Of course they are.
Well, then we need
Narc,
to go.
get changed now.
I will, and I'll also, on my way to do that, I will give Sidon. I'll put 5 gold pieces in his palm and say, like, I can trust we can trust your discretion when these guards come around.
And he looks at the gold and looks at you, and then he leans into you and says, you can trust me with whatever you need.
Thank you very much.
And then, as you sort of back away, he leans in and misses his kiss mark.
Wait, what?
He was totally flirting with you.
Oh,
And
with
is
me?
extremely
Yes.
drunk.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I went right over.
And he just, like, missed, and he's like, oh, fine. Take your friends who are decidedly less fun than normal and do whatever you need to do. Just be careful. Please
Feel
don't
like
lead
that
them
fight.
back here if you get into a fight. Do I need to say it again?
You look like you could use a little punching.
If you destroy another chandelier of some rich nobleman, so help me.
Me.
Oh, this has happened more than once, has it?
A few
It's like they're drawn to her. It's crazy.
Hmm.
It's an easy getaway. Giant candles falling on top of your head. Who's gonna see the moon out?
Yeah, that's a
It
good point. I
happened to
didn't
me
think
once
of it
while
that
trying
way.
to apprehend the subject. Pulls the whole chandelier down behind them.
Are you sure that wasn't her?
May have been, we never caught the thief.
And he sort of looks at you skeptically anew, and then looks at him, and then just looks back at you. Blink once if you're in trouble.
We're not in trouble. Actually, children are in trouble. So we need to. We will
Oh,
be scarce.
how did you hear about that? Is he here? There's no way. The guards never respond to our calls for help.
Okay, I think we need to pause and get elaboration on that.
Well, dark
I
elf
went to go
children-
change.
Dark elf children, especially those known to be fluent in magical skill of some degree, have been disappearing, and they say it's been by masked, like fully masked soldiers of the crown, not the Scriptorium.
We're going to get to the bottom of that, and we'll make sure that they get back to you.
Well, at any rate, go up and change yourselves and you can come down for breakfast. Or what's left of it. And he sort of gives like a half burp, half hiccup, and he points to like a third of a crust of bread and a whole half pint of ale.
Mask will go
That's
change
really
into the grayscale version of what they're already wearing.
I'm gonna look for something, robe-ish, or just something that I can throw over what I've got, because I'm not ditching my nice stuff.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm sure there's also showers, right?
All right. So you guys can easily take care of that. Anu, you don't have running water here.
I don't think we have time for a shower anyways.
No. I just throw on some kind of men's trousers, kind of like whiskey grandpa looking sort of trousers, like something you would expect on a porch in Tennessee circa like 1921.
Okay.
And like a button down, just something very kind of nondescript that is decidedly less cute but does not stink.
Okay.
Storm's coming, I reckon.
And
Hick's gonna get whatever he thinks is like the common man's garb, because his
Okay.
clothes are like really nice. Not right now; they're all filthy and stuff. But just like the most basic, whatever.
right. So you can pack away your clothes if you want to save them.
Oh yeah, very carefully folded.
But you find that a lot of Sidon's clothing is just a little tight for you because he is lean, and while he's tall, so it's also a little bit long. So like you've got like some collecting breeches that normally are supposed to go just below the knee that fall to the ankle and things like that.
Sure.
But you manage to get yourself a pair of nondescript clothing. And Masquerade is going grayscale. And
Easier to hide in that.
Wisp has something roby and hooded. And Anu, are you just sticking with what you normally wear?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it blends pretty well here. It's a little bit nicer than the fare around these parts, but that's because you've earned it. And just as everyone gets done changing, you hear a sharp knock at the door, followed by a demand. Klongald, open up!
They're calling themselves that now, are they? That was not loud enough to carry.
Mm-hmm. And if you look out the window, or out the crumbling edge of the building, you see 3 guards currently at the door, demanding entrance.
We can probably take 3.
We can totally take 3.
And with that sentiment in your hearts, we are going to cut tonight's session.
That's what a scene.
So, yeah, you guys now have a new ally in tow, at least for the time being. And
Maybe a friend in the works, who
you are
knows?
hopefully going to solve the mysteries surrounding the continuously increasing number of stolen children. So to everyone who joined us, thank you so much for watching on Twitch. This video is going to post the following Monday on our YouTube channel. So if you're so inclined, feel free to join at noon Eastern. And we will be doing a premiere so that we can talk, chat, whatever, about all the things, all the business. This was a great session. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. And until next time, whether it's on the page or at the table, tell your story your way. Bye, everybody.
I